Have you ever noticed a pattern? The people you're most drawn to, the ones who feel electric, magnetic, impossible to ignore, they're always just out of reach. They text back, but not quite enough. They're interested, but not quite available. They care, but not quite consistently. And here's the thing that keeps you up at night. It's not a coincidence. Emotionally unavailable people don't choose you randomly. They're scanning for something specific. And if they keep finding you, there's a reason. This isn't about blame. It's about understanding what signal you're sending that they're picking up on. Because once you see it, you can change it.
Welcome to Coupled Psychology, where we break down the hidden patterns in love and relationships. Here's what most people get wrong about emotionally unavailable partners. We think they're afraid of intimacy, that they have commitment issues, that they just need the right person to open them up. But that's not how it works. Emotionally unavailable people aren't avoiding everyone. They're choosing very specific people. People whose nervous systems are wired in a way that makes the distance feel normal. People who won't push too hard. People who will wait.
Dr. Amir Levine, who wrote Attached, found that anxious and avoidant attachment styles are drawn to each other with almost magnetic precision. It's not bad luck. It's pattern recognition happening faster than conscious thought. Today we're covering 3 things: what emotionally unavailable people are actually looking for, why your nervous system makes you the perfect match for their distance, and how to stop being the person they choose. So what are emotionally unavailable people actually looking for when they choose someone? They're not looking for someone who will leave them alone. They're looking for someone who'll stay close enough to meet their needs, but won't demand too much in return. Someone who'll be there when they want connection, but won't make them feel trapped when they need space. And here's the part that's hard to hear. They're looking for someone who's already learned how to live with emotional scarcity. Someone whose nervous system doesn't panic when love becomes inconsistent. Because if you panic, if you push, if you demand more, you stop being useful to them, and they'll pull away completely. Think about how it usually goes. In the beginning, they're amazing, attentive, interested, fully present. You feel seen, you feel chosen, and your nervous system relaxes because finally someone gets you. But then something shifts. The texts slow down, the plans become vague. They start mentioning how busy they are, how stressed they are, how they need space to deal with things. And instead of walking away, you adjust. You tell yourself it's temporary. You lower your expectations. You become smaller, quieter, less demanding. You prove you're safe by not asking for too much. That's what they were testing for. Not whether you're interesting or attractive or worthy. Whether you'll tolerate emotional distance without making it a problem. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows that avoidant attachment styles unconsciously seek partners who won't escalate conflict or demand emotional accountability. They're not looking for independence. They're looking for someone who'll let them be independent while still being available. And here's the cruel part. The more you prove you can handle their distance, the more distant they become. Because your tolerance isn't inspiring them to get closer. It's teaching them how little they have to give to keep you there.
So why does your nervous system make you the perfect match for their emotional unavailability? It starts with what you learned love looked like. If you grew up with a parent who was sometimes warm, sometimes cold, sometimes there, sometimes emotionally gone, your nervous system built a template. It learned that love is something you have to work for. Something you have to earn by being good enough, patient enough, understanding enough. And when you meet someone who's emotionally unavailable, your nervous system doesn't say danger. It says familiar. It says, I know how to do this. I know how to wait. I know how to not ask for too much. Dr. Sue Johnson, who created emotionally focused therapy, explains this as protest behavior. When someone pulls away, your nervous system goes into pursuit mode. Not because you're needy, because you're trying to restore connection the only way you know how. But here's what makes the pattern so powerful. Their distance triggers your anxiety. Your anxiety makes you chase. Your chase confirms to them that you're too much. So they pull back further, which makes you try harder, which makes them pull back more. It's not two people failing to connect. It's two nervous systems running incompatible programs that somehow fit together perfectly. Your need for reassurance feeds their need for space. Their need for space triggers your need for reassurance. And both of you end up convinced the problem is the other person. They think you're clingy, you think they're cold, but really you're both doing exactly what your nervous systems were trained to do. A study from the University of California found that anxious avoidant pairings report higher levels of relationship distress than any other combination. But they also stay together longer. Because the pattern is so familiar that leaving feels more dangerous than staying. Your nervous system would rather be in a relationship where you're anxious than single where you're calm. Because anxiety in relationship feels like love. Calm feels like something's wrong. That's not a character flaw. That's conditioning. And conditioning can be changed.
Here's the signal you're sending that emotionally unavailable people are picking up on. It's not that you're desperate. It's not that you have low self-esteem. It's something more specific. You're signaling that you'll prioritize their comfort over your own needs, that you'll interpret their distance as something temporary, something you can fix by being more understanding, that you'll take responsibility for their emotions while putting yours on hold. And you're signaling this before you even realize you're doing it. It shows up in small ways, how quickly you text back, how often you're available when they reach out, how rarely you express disappointment or frustration, how much you accommodate their schedule, their mood, their need for space. Each accommodation trains them. It tells them, you don't have to show up fully because I'll meet you where you are. You don't have to consider my needs because I won't make it a problem. You don't have to change because I'll change instead. Psychologist Harriet Lerner calls this overfunctioning. You overfunction in the relationship to compensate for their underfunctioning. And the more you overfunction, the more they underfunction. Because why would they step up when you've proven you'll do it for both of you? The signal isn't intentional, but it's clear. And emotionally unavailable people are experts at reading it.
So, how do you stop being the person emotionally unavailable people choose? You can't think your way out of this. You can't decide to be less anxious or more confident and have it stick. Because the pattern isn't in your thoughts. It's in your nervous system. You have to change the signal at a body level.
Step 1. Stop accommodating before they even ask. When someone pulls away, your instinct is to get smaller, quieter, more flexible. Do the opposite. When they pull away, stay exactly where you are. Don't chase, don't adjust, don't try to fix it. Let the distance exist. This feels excruciating at first. Your nervous system will scream. But it's teaching your body that space doesn't mean abandonment, that you can survive someone's distance without collapsing. Step 2. Notice when you're taking emotional responsibility for two people. When you're checking in on them, but they're not checking in on you. When you're managing their feelings, but they're not managing yours. When you're doing all the work to keep the connection alive. Stop, even for just a day. See what happens when you stop overfunctioning. Most emotionally unavailable people won't step up to fill the space. They'll just let it be empty. And that tells you everything. Step 3. Get comfortable being the problem. The reason emotionally unavailable people choose you is because you won't make them uncomfortable. You won't complain. You won't demand. You won't create conflict. Start creating conflict, not in a dramatic way, just by stating what you need clearly. I need more consistency. I need to know where this is going. I need you to show up the way you did in the beginning. They'll tell you you're being too much, too demanding, too intense. That's not because you are. It's because they're used to people who ask for less. And here's what happens when you stop being the safe choice for emotionally unavailable people. They stop choosing you. And that's not a loss. That's the filter working.
Emotionally unavailable people don't choose you randomly. They choose you because your nervous system has learned to tolerate what they offer. Distance that comes and goes, attention that feels conditional, connection that never quite becomes commitment. You're not broken for attracting them. You're running an old program, one that taught you that love is something you wait for, work for, earn by being understanding enough. But you can write a new program, one where love doesn't require you to shrink, where space doesn't send you into panic, where someone's emotional unavailability is a clear signal to walk away, not a challenge to overcome. Which part of this hit hardest? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to Coupled Psychology for research-backed psychology on love, attachment, and the patterns we can't seem to shake.